Have you ever heard of a place that's so unbelievably beautiful it's been officially nicknamed the mini Switzerland of India? Well, today we're heading high up into the Himalayas to explore exactly that spot. It's called Khajjiar. So you gotta wonder, right? What is it about this one little hill station that makes it so special it gets compared to Switzerland? In this explainer, we're gonna break it all down. The where, the why, what you can actually do there, and yeah, how you can see it for yourself. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start by digging into that mini Switzerland title. Then we'll pinpoint it on a map, check out the sights, figure out what really draws people in, and finally, we'll cover the history and the logistics of how to get there. First up, let's tackle that big, flashy nickname. I mean, is calling it the mini Switzerland of India just some clever tourism slogan, or is there actually something more to the story? Well, get this. It's not just a slogan, it's an official designation. Khajjiar is one of only about 160 locations in the entire world that has been recognized for its topographical resemblance to Switzerland. That is a seriously exclusive club to be in.
Okay, so we know why it has the name, which is pretty amazing. But now, where is it? Exactly where on the map would you find this little piece of paradise?
We're heading way up north to the Indian state of Himachal Pradesh, and more specifically to the Chamba district, a region that's already legendary for its absolutely breathtaking mountain scenery. And when I say way up, I mean it. Khajjiar sits at about 6,500 feet above sea level. You know, that elevation is the secret sauce. It's what gives the area its cool climate, that crisp mountain air, and its very distinct alpine landscape. So here's what makes it so unique. Just picture this. A small, almost perfectly saucer-shaped plateau covered in this lush green grass. Then, imagine it's completely surrounded by dense forests of pine and cedar trees, all tucked away behind the massive Dhauladhar mountains. It's this exact combination of features that creates that picture-perfect, hey, this looks like Switzerland view. So yeah, the scenery is incredible. But beyond just looking at it, what can you actually do in Khajjiar? Let's talk about the experience you'd have on the ground. It's this really fantastic blend of the ancient and the wild. You've got the Khajji Nag Temple, which dates all the way back to the 12th century. And then right next door, you've got the Kalatop Wildlife Sanctuary, a protected home for local animals, along with unique natural sites like the Pandav tree. Now we have to talk about the centerpiece of Khajjiar, the lake. In all the photos, it looks absolutely idyllic, a calm, serene lake with this cool little floating island of grass. But it's important to get the full picture here. A lot of visitor accounts mention that, depending on the season, it can sometimes look more like an unappealing, muddy pond. It's a classic case of reputation versus reality. But the experience goes so much deeper than just that main meadow. The forests around it are home to Himalayan black bears and an incredible 49 different species of butterflies. And the local culture is just as rich, with beautiful embroidered textiles called Chamba and delicious local dishes to try. So, when you put it all together, what's the real allure? Why do people from all over make the journey to this one specific spot in the Himalayas? Well, a huge part of its appeal is that it's a year-round destination. Seriously, there's no single best time to visit. Spring brings flowers, summer offers a cool escape from the heat, the monsoons create this misty green wonderland, and winter just transforms the whole place into a snow-covered white paradise. And if you're looking for a little adventure, it's a total playground. You can go for serene nature walks or hop on a horse for a ride around the meadow. Or you can get your adrenaline pumping with activities like zorbing and paragliding, which give you a literal bird's-eye view of that incredible landscape.
Okay, so for our final section, let's get into the backstory and the practical side of things. How did Khajjiar get its name, its official title, and most importantly, how can you actually get there?
The name itself, Khajjiar, is tied directly to its spiritual heart. It comes from the Khajji Nag Temple, which has been the central landmark for centuries and is dedicated to a local serpent deity. Simple as that. So that mini Switzerland title, it became official on July 7th, 1992. The actual Swiss envoy at the time visited and was just so struck by the resemblance to his home country that he made the designation official. And there's even a classic yellow Swiss hiking sign there today that points the way to Bern, Switzerland, just to cement that special connection. And if you're inspired to go, getting there is pretty straightforward. The nearest airport is in Kangra,
and the closest major train station is Pathankot. From either of those points, or from nearby towns like Dalhousie, it's just a really scenic road trip by bus or taxi up into the mountains. There's this analogy that really captures the whole essence of Khajjiar perfectly. Imagine a beautiful antique wooden box. That's the surrounding forests. Inside that box is a prized emerald. That's the green meadow. But the setting where the gem rests, the lake at the center, well, sometimes it just needs a little bit of polishing to truly shine. Which kind of leaves us with a final question to think about. Is a title like Mini Switzerland a perfect promise of paradise? Or does it set up a reputation that's almost impossible for any real place to live up to? Something to ponder.